Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to show you a little bit of experiment I've been doing using Blender and Blender Cloth and SVerchok nodes. So basically, the idea is to use SVerchok as a starting point to spawn like cloth objects, and then just let the simulation does its thing. Okay. So let's start with something like a box, and let's just output something. So using bmesh. And for cloth to function properly, we need a bit of resolution. So I'm gonna give it 4x4x4. So file, save. So this is SV cloth. So the cloth shape and everything will actually matters. And cloth is actually really interesting, especially in recent version of Blender. It's a lot faster, and you can also use pressure and things like that. So here I'm gonna add modifier cloth. So the cloth will simulate, and this is all the default at the moment. And I'll just enable things like pressure, increase a little bit, maybe collisions like self collisions. In the future, I might actually play around with the pin group and make, you can do a lot with that. So create a collision objects underneath, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so this guy has to be collision. So this is a cloth. So it falls and it drops, right? So nothing special, but it's kind of interesting because you can start to add randomizations in SVerchok, like randomize it's a random vector, and just plug this into this guy and just rotate it. So the starting point now is rotated, so it drops. And we can also start to play around with the actually to duplicate the objects. So let's try to use, for example, line and create. Okay, don't use line, actually use a vector in and range of number. So we're gonna try to drop objects. So let me think. Start, stops, start. So starting point is somewhere around there. So if I'm not wrong, we can actually generate multiple objects. So that's actually the idea, right? We just drop 3 objects. And so let's try do a bit more. Say 5, and each one of them is random, and just drop it. So that's cool. 5 cloth dropped at the same time. So it's starting to get more interesting. What if, while it's running, we actually increase it? So let's drop 1, another one, another one, another one. So apparently it is interactive, and with this position that I am giving at the moment, it's all based on the line, kind of straight up. Maybe we can kind of reduce that and then randomize the position a little bit. And so let's do this once again. So by default, if I just do it like that, it's all on top of each other. I can increase the position, starting position and end positions. Now I reduce it to 1. So this is the starting position. I can actually add a viewer that's giving me the result. Okay, so it cannot start over there. So let's play back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, it's gonna continue, and the more you increase, the slower it's gonna be, because they are actually a single object, a single cloth object, right? Okay. So that's actually a good start, and there are a couple of things that we can do. So I tested like 10 boxes cloth. Actually, still kind of my computer can handle it, but the more I made, the slower it's gonna get. If you really want, there's actually a way. Let's say if we use object ID objects in, this is a very experimental. So Blender, maybe better save this and save another version, because Blender might actually unhappy about this. So we're gonna grab our alpha objects, plug this into this guy, call it beta. So what's gonna happen is this guy will actually create a duplicate. So let's just simulate first. It's gonna be a combination of SVerchok, cloth simulations, and actually you. So okay, let's do this. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I made them too fast, but that's okay. Let them settle. Once they're settled, we actually have beta object, and beta object you can just duplicate. That's so that's the interesting part, right? Because you can easily, so beta is like the intermediate objects. Try again. Okay, try again with a different seed. Start with just a single cube. So drop one by one. So let's make 4, let them settle, and then again select beta, and then duplicate. So once you duplicate, you can actually turn it into collision, so they're not overlapping. So that's the idea, really. So let's do it again, one more time. Drop it, 1, 2, 3. Right, let them settle. Oops, okay, I missed it. I missed the simulations. Okay, it needs to basically drop and settle. Stop, select beta.000, duplicate, collision, go back to start. So this has actually become an interesting kind of setup. Suddenly it's I mean, of course you can actually do this using script. Stop. But this is very interesting, like interesting manual job, because the more you do it, you're gonna end up with a different result each time, no matter what. So it's becoming like a little bit like art projects. I mean, this kind of art, I mean, there's somewhere like out there must be like a person that's doing this kind of thing, experimenting with, let's say, start with 100 boxes and then just drop the boxes, or start with thousands toilet paper and make some kind of art based on toilet paper. But here you're actually doing it using simulations and using Blender, and you're not wasting boxes and you're not wasting toilet paper. You have unlimited boxes basically. Yeah, so that's the idea, and each one of them not gonna be overlapping. So I think that's really the idea with this experiment. And the setup is actually quite simple. Like I said, this might be experimental. I think Blender doesn't like it if we are setting it up like this. So let me save this before. So I'm gonna save without this guy. So I just simply bake everything, but I'm gonna open the one that's because the way to do something to that object, and then if they miscalculate, it's gonna crash Blender. So like I say, it's a quite interesting setup, dangerous setup. Now this one doesn't crash, but the other one crashes. So I proved my point. The other one will always crash. What do you think? And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.